A South Jersey theater operating since 1933 now has a resident professional theater company to boost its presence. Stage Left Productions is joining forces with sketch club players in Woodbury, New Jersey for the 2010-2011 season. Ed Corsi is a founder of Stage Left. He says shortly after returning to theater following a hiatus from the actor's life, he and a few friends decided to create the new theater company.
We talk about all these shows we want to do. Why don't we just do it ourselves? Which I'm sure a lot of people have those same aspirations and dreams, but we did it 2 years later, and we have two major productions and a lot of fundraisers and events under our belt. And with our last production, we've gained a lot of strength, and we have our first inaugural season planned. So it was really just the funny thought between friends, let's do it.
Corsi says Stage Left took a risk mounting a theatrical production of the 80s teen hit movie The Breakfast Club, but it was the group's presentation of the popular musical Rent that propelled the growth of his fledgling company.
It was our second major production. We put so much thought and energy and finances into that show. It was my baby, my dream show. When the rights became available, we were the first group to get them. But we waited. We planned it for a year out, and we really took a lot of effort in the planning stages to make sure everything was done right, from the sound to the lights, and didn't skimp on anything. And we presented it at another area theater at Haddonfield. Sold out audiences for all 12 shows that we did there, standing room only, turned away probably 140 people on closing weekend. The buzz was great. We got a lot of people involved in it. We had a few professional actors in the show. One of them had an agent who just fell in love with the show and started selling the show. We're talking to a group in Atlantic City to bring it to Atlantic City. The Eagle Theater in Hamilton jumped on board, and we booked it with them for March. We did a rent and concert night at the Ram's Head Inn in Galloway, New Jersey. This cast and what we brought to the stage caught fire, and to me, that's what put Stage Left Productions on the map. People want to work with us, and they were impressed with what we put on stage, as was I. Couldn't have been more proud of what we put on the stage.
He says this new collaborative effort is meant to broaden the exposure for both Sketch Club's community theater audience as well as Stage Left's following.
We worked on a show together last year, one of their shows I was involved in, and kind of introduced him to our company, and we thought it might be a good idea that the two companies collaborate. So what we are, the Sketch Club, is their resident professional theater. So our season's going to be presented at their establishment, and we're going to work hard to help them with their shows, and they're going to do the same and draw the same support from each other. Obviously, we care that the 4 shows we're going to stage here are successful, but just as important to make sure that the shows that the Sketch Club players present are just as successful. We want their people to see our shows, our people to see their shows, and bring in a whole new breed of people to see both.
Corsi says that while Stage Left's productions favor the edgy, he's beginning the season at Woodbury with Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, a tried and true staple of theater at all levels. He says that's being followed up by The Last 5 Years, a play he sees as a classic in the making.
We wanted to bring in a Neil Simon show and start out there. The Last 5 Years, kind of a selfish reason. It's a personal favorite of mine. I saw it off Broadway a few times. The music is extremely powerful. It does have its own following. I think it does decent in this area. I've seen a couple of local productions. It's easy to mount. It's a man and a woman on pretty much a black box stage.
Corsi explains the broad appeal of The Last 5 Years.
It's a husband and a wife chronicling their 5 years of marriage. However, she starts from the end of the relationship, and he starts from the beginning of the relationship, and they only are on stage. They're on stage together, but they only sing together one time directly in the middle of the show at their wedding, and then they cross paths, and he goes to the end of their relationship and she goes to the beginning. So it's not uplifting, although there are funny moments and happy time shared between the two. It is a I don't want to say realistic, but it's definitely a emotional piece that it is interesting the way it's done, because it is out of order and easy for the audience to follow, though. As long as they know that it is done that way, it's interesting to see how the emotions that both actors feel at different times when they're talking about something that maybe she talked about 40 minutes ago, now he's talking about because they've crossed paths.
Stage Left's production of Barefoot in the Park runs October 21st through the 24th. The Last 5 Years opens November 5th and runs through the 14th. Ticket information as well as show dates and times for both productions are available online at Stage Left's website or by checking out their listing on Stage Magazine's website at stagepartners.org. At the Sketch Club in Woodbury, New Jersey, I'm Jim Hilgen for Stage Magazine.